I mean, there's different circumstances as well. You play a little bit with your equilibrium, right? You get if you get high ground advantage as well, that matters quite a lot. A couple of runes too. Even though Queen of Pain had decent CS, it still went in Puck's favor in the end because he got the double damage and he killed her. So it didn't really matter way too much. But let's see if any of those heroes get into the banning phase of the second game. DPPL and Shen on one side and Shaker on the other. So we'll see some very different drafts now.
Still no Lycan ban.
Yeah.
And this is interesting to me. Was the Razor banned in the previous games?
I don't think so. So could this...
Oracle Troll?
We've seen it as an opener before. I think it was SEA that also done it as an opener.
Yeah, SEA plays a lot of Oracle, and I think we've seen it banned, so maybe now we see an Oracle Troll for Geek fam.
And of course, Snapfire's not sneaking through there either. People still don't want to deal with that hero.
Yeah, definitely.
And well, it's the beginning.
I mean, you are now responding with 2 picks to this, so you have some ways of dealing with it.
Yeah, do you feel like the Oracle pick in the opening just feels so much better? Because it feels like a lot of teams, if they can enable a Darkseer in their lineup, it seems like it really fits the current meta. Do you think that's one of the big advantages of Oracle opening, is you don't have the classic counter to Darkseer Iron Shells on the lane?
No, you can go Darkseer with your 15, 16 with your 3rd and 4th pick, right? You can pick Darkseer there and you're fine. If you have the Oracle, that is. If you're playing against it, there's no way. But
well, now both sides have one.
Exactly. They have ways of dealing with the Oracle because of Enchant, right? With the Darkseer, yeah. But at the same time, why Enchantress is good versus Oracle is also because of creeps. You could see that their last ban was Chen. And when you're banning Chen and picking Oracle, that's literally saying we can't play into a Chen. We have no wave clear, we have no outpush. And Enchantress kind of helps you out with that. Enchantress can get those creeps and dominate Oracle in the laning stage.
Yeah, definitely one of those heroes that can dominate Oracle in the laning stage, but not really as well as the Chen.
Yeah, of course.
Throughout the whole game is really good because he can send the creeps, he can maybe even find the Oracle with those. That's not something that we can expect from the Enchantress. And there's the Troll. I mean, you asked about the Oracle. This hero just looks way too good now, right? Because the sustain and people are not dying in fights. They're constantly fighting, and then you see him just spamming spells. You don't see many of these like assassins. Sometimes you see a Riki, sometimes you see a Void Spirit, but it's still not enough. If you're in a good position, you can really counter all of that. So, in my opinion, Oracle is one of the best picks now, and that's why we've been seeing him banned or picked a lot.
Especially when you're picking it with such a strong combo, such as Troll, right? You pick Oracle with your Trolls, Huskars, Dead Prophets, even, you know, ODs. These are the heroes that work really well with Troll, and it's something that Geek fam have picked in the past. I believe in their last series they had the exact same opening, Troll and Oracle. You can always cover the Troll so he's able to use his ulti. After that he's pretty much full HP and he can fight again. Hero that they've picked with this before, it was the Lion and the Doom. Those heroes, do they fit the current game? Lion is alright, but we'll see what they go for.
They do at least have a Spirit Vessel builder in that Clockwork, right? So they have a means to mess with the heals.
You don't go Spirit Vessel against the Oracle. You
No.
don't go Spirit. You have Fortune's End, you have your ulti to remove it. You don't go for it. I think it's a big mistake. Only how it works, you can use your Spirit Vessel when the when the false promise is about to end, and then the healing is gonna be mitigated. But it's not really that big of a deal because that ulti you really want, if the hero is not dying in it, it's getting healed quite a lot, right? It's rarely gonna be, oh, he's gonna be healed.
There are other heroes that you can pick versus Oracle that work really well. Instead of buying a vessel, you go for the AA, which is good, but it's banned. Another hero that no teams are going for that's really good versus Oracle and is forgotten is Shadow Demon. When you apply your ulti, it constantly purges, and because of that, Oracle can't really heal you. Even though you are ulted, you won't be healed afterwards.
Do you feel that Shadow Demon is maybe a little bit underrated in this patch?
I think he's pretty strong. Yeah, and is underrated quite heavily because there are heroes that are a little bit better at the moment, and because of that, perhaps he's not picked.
Yeah. I remember for a while, Soulcatcher kind of felt like a better Spirit Vessel, right? Like it was so much health removal and it was instantaneous. It was kind of hard to contest with, but something that was getting contested in a lot of games for a long time and is still appearing despite all the nerfs. Nyx Assassin coming out.
Yeah.
Next Assassin out, on the other side, the Pango. I like both the heroes. Pango, one of those heroes, is going to give you the team fight against the Oracle, going to go in with the Rolling Thunder, possibly find him, even stun him, do a lot of damage to him. So I like him for the team fight control. It also synergizes really well with the clock. If you get into the cogs, you can do a lot of damage, do a lot of stuns. On the other hand, the Nyx can kind of counter you if you go for a swashbuckle first. He uses carapace, he can stun you and you can die. So it kind of goes both ways, but I like both.
I think this Nyx Assassin is covering them from something that they're gonna pick.
Maybe a squishy in hero in the mid-roll?
That might be the case, because if you look at these three, it's not like Nyx Assassin really counters anything here. Terrorblade picked up by Adroit.
Fairly early TB pick, right? Or do you think this
also
is the
into a
time
troll.
for that? Yeah. Which, I mean, you deal with physical damage well. I'd be more concerned about it.
Dude, you just go for a diffusal and you rush straight at him. I'm not a big fan. Also, Nyx Assassin plus Darkseer could work again. Even though you're playing into an Enchantress, getting that Darkseer, it could work for them.
We saw it, I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was Nyx Assassin, no, it was Spirit Breaker, I think, and Darkseer against the Terrorblade, and he was just getting dove on the tower constantly.
Exactly. Usually, what you do to also Lion that they like to pick is an option. They well, not really, because they have two supports.
This Enchantress is taking care of the Darkseer, but it also kind of takes care of the Necro in the lane. But I feel like Necro for Geek Fam would be an awesome pick. And these heroes later on, they don't do anything to him. You can't go Spirit Vessel, it's with an Oracle. I kind of feel like this is a Necro game. Okay, they go for the Void Spirit.
I mean, it's the Void Spirit. Like, I don't think we need to assess it even more than that. It's like every time the Void Spirit is there, it just fits almost any draft. I want to call it the new cookie cutter pick, right? It doesn't feel like we ever see a game where it is bad.
Do we ever see a game where it's bad, Lizard?
Void Spirit right now is good, no matter what game it's picked, because you can roll him in almost any lane. And you will find a lane that will work for him. And in this kind of a game, you can already see that they have zero catch. There's a clockwork, right, with hookshot, but that's not really something that Void Spirit worries about. Same can be said for Pango.
Oh.
All right, they go with the Pugna, which kind of gives you the reasoning behind the Nyx earlier pick as well.
This is the better version of the Necro that I mentioned. I actually think it's a much better version. It gives them the burst, Terrorblade.
It gives you the burst, but most importantly, it gives you a hero that can play early on. And with this Pugna, you will be able to pressure the tower super early on later. Obviously, versus the Metamorphosis versus the Terrorblade, you can buy a Dagon if you want to, and you can just have that extra additional burst.
That's the point, right? It's a lot faster than the Necro, and also what we see is Pugnas, they eventually turn to kind of a support from a core role, and you have this troll for your late game. He's going to become nigh on unkillable.
I mean, this draft looks awesome. I don't know what you get. They pick Underlord, but...
Is this Pango mid then?
Yeah, it could be Pango mid. This TB draft doesn't look promising to me. It looks garbage to me, actually. I don't know how you play against this Pugna, and...
First and foremost, I don't know why you pick TB so early and, well, not necessarily too early, but why do you pick it into a troll? Like, that's also a question.
Into a troll, Oracle, Nyx. All of these heroes can do magic damage. Troll, when he gets on top of you, he is gonna kill you, and Nyx and Oracle actually do quite a lot against you in the early game, right? So I don't know why you go for it. This looks like a clear outdraft to me.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're pretty decisive on this. Quickly, Adroit or Geek Fam, Liz?
Yeah, Geek Fam.
Geek Fam, definitely.
Geek Fam all the way here on the panel, but the casters might have someone else to say. Nomad Kips, take it away.
Seems to be a lot of hate for my boy Terrorblade. You know, I don't know if it's misplaced or not. I've definitely seen games where I've underestimated Terrorblades before, and they have sometimes come through, but we've also seen them being a bit of a wet blanket. Kips, is it possible they could possibly sneak this one through for Adroit?
It's looking very hard. Like, the narrative of this series so far has been that Adroit tries to out-sustain and Geek Fam tries to burst. And I think, unfortunately, right now, Geek Fam has both the sustain and the burst compared to Adroit.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree with you. Like, I haven't seen enough Pugner in this patch, and I really, really want to. I feel like this hero is underutilized, and this seems like the perfect game to see how much pacing you can get behind this hero. What kind of builds are we expecting? I know Necrobook's been popular, but I imagine we're heading more towards the kind of, usual stuff, Aether, all that kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't see any reason for him to go wildly off course here. He just naturally does so well in this game. He doesn't care about any disarms. He doesn't care about the Terrorblade at all. In fact, the Terrorblade needs to care a lot about him. And
Yeah.
The team is just... man. Because, for example, normally with the Terrorblade, right, what you rely on is you get your Metamorphosis off, you have several illusions up, and you just spam all of their attacks into, well, ideally one hero or all of their buildings. But a Troll Warlord just runs in. If he gets on top of the right one, he is A, gonna just outright click you, he's gonna disable you, and then B, Terrorblade relies on his Sunder for his survivability. But a Troll, when he pops his ultimate, that is when he's low. You're going to swap HP with someone who doesn't have any HP. So you're going to have to find different Sunder targets than the one you naturally take, which is a big adjustment already. And if Geek Fam doesn't put anyone close to you that you can swap with, you're just toast.
So you don't think there's any opportunity for this TB to just farm like crazy and just kind of like, take off? Is there a point where he can hit critical mass and just kind of be the boss tier hero, which we know this hero can be, or is that just not possible in this game?
I mean, if he's just one or two major items ahead of the Troll, then yeah, sure, but Troll's a strong laner. He's got a fine lane this game, I think. And like, unless this Pango, like, if Bok for some reason starts just lucky shotting the hell out of him, and he just gets no CS,
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. I feel like we're clutching at straws here, but I love what Cuckoo says. Go for game 5, boys. Yes, Cuckoo, that's my man. Let's see a game 5. Very much in for that. Alrighty, let's get into game number 3 in this best of 5 series between Geek Fam and Adroit as they battle it out here at the WePlay Charity Cup. And of course, if you guys are looking for a way to support the foundation, because it is a fantastic cause, we are fighting for Global Giving and the SEPI Foundation are both fantastic organizations which are doing their best to help out during these trying times, then please do donate. Any cheers inside the Twitch chat will be directly converted into donations, which is really cool. Thanks a lot for Twitch chat for that one, and it's really easy to do whilst you're playing the game and everything. Just all of you guys just chipped in a little tiny bit, we would hit our goals with absolutely no problems. But of course, it's trying times for everybody, and if not, then just sit back and enjoy the game. As Matsumi's going to start things off with the Metamorphosis, and he's actually gone with the Ring of Tarask as his first item. What do you feel about this?
This is an item that more carries are experimenting with right now. I've seen it on Arteezy as well, starting off with that on both Terrorblade and Anti-Mage. And it is basically, after the nerfs to the headdress, this is the way for the carry to just say, alright, fine, I'm getting my own regen, and you can really stay in lane with this, even under heavy arrest. And it allows your support a little bit more space to, go off to the side, perhaps find a nice angle to come in and harass the enemies.
Very rude. CML just gets himself a freebie courier. Zephyr, a bit off the pace of that courier. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they've put Mac on the Underlord at mid, and he's going to be playing off into Carl's Void Spirit. Interesting. So, yeah, Pugner in the offlane.
The Underlord is very hard to lane into as a right-clicking hero, because that Atrophy Aura is constantly going to make it hard for you to trade with him. But luckily for the Void Spirit, he can last hit range creeps with spells.
Yeah, so, I do think this is pretty good though. I kind of feel like Mac's going to have a decent time here. Carl doesn't really have enough spells to throw out to kind of keep up with the last hits which the Underlord's going to be getting with his Atrophy Aura. So I do like this move from Adroit.
Definitely. Like, for me, it's mostly arguing why the Void Spirit is not going to get pushed out of lane all the way, but Mac is just a really big, beefy boy. He's got his first Bracer as well. Kate doesn't really deal any damage into him, and it's going to be impossible for him to push this Underlord out of lane at all. He can just hope to stay, and he's going to have to ferry himself more regen than the Underlord has as well. So, a clear win there, at least for Adroit.
Yeah, and does this have the potential to kind of pick up the pace where they wait for Terrorblade, and then you have this other hero to kind of become the big boy in the front lines and maybe apply some pressure and control this Geek Fam lineup a bit?
Yes, it's definitely easier to execute. I imagine that if Adroit gets a good laning stage off here, they are going to take the outer towers pretty easily, and then the question is if they can play into this Nyx Assassin well enough, because one of the things that Nyx Assassin does very well is make use of that dark space, and whether that's on your side of the map or on the enemy side of the map doesn't matter all that much. It's more about no towers to react to his rotations. So
watching you from the shadows.
Yes,
somewhat.
Definitely.
Well, Cuckoo is going on a bit of a run here as Natsumi, with those big right clicks, scaring the Pugner away and taking control of this bottom lane a little bit here. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Whitemon dropping a little bit low here, and Bok, he sees him. See how that Swashbuckle doesn't seem like it right now, or doesn't want to go for it anyway. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, CML maybe in a bit of trouble. Natsumi trying to fight up with him though. Cuckoo's getting low as well, and he's actually going to be the first one to drop here. CML still trying to fight up into Zephyr, and Zephyr with the Spike Carapace will be able to get himself away. Natsumi unable to chase anything further than this, but still a great kill down in the bottom lane to start things off for Adroit.
Yes, their lanes are looking to shape up nicely, especially actually their Pangolier on top is getting a lot of space. It seems like Boomy has been pulling a lot of these creep waves over to him on the side, which means that he doesn't actually have to go toe-to-toe with Raven.
Yeah, I'm actually so impressed by Adroit here with this laning phase. It seems to be exactly what they need. The Fortify comes out to keep the range creep alive as well. Keep on annoying Carl. He's actually dropping pretty low here to the Firestorm. He's running out of HP here, running out of bottle charges as well. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Raven, he's running low on HP. It's getting controlled up by Bok and Boomy pretty well. Raven turning around, trying to fight, but there's nothing he could do. The Swashbuckle's going to come through, and Adroit get a kill on the top lane. My goodness, they are laying the hurt onto Geek Fam currently.
They are. This is great news for them. And this kill came right at the 5-minute mark as well, so Boom is going to have no problems whatsoever picking up these runes.
I mean, the way...
as well being a really big threat for that. And he is going on to Cuckoo again. Is Cuckoo going to be able... No, he can't juke his way out of this.
No, it doesn't seem... Oh, nice stun from Zephyr might help things out a little bit, though. And Natsumi running out of HP doesn't really want to come much further forward than this, though. CML is going to go for these cogs. Natsumi, he doesn't have the Metamorphosis just yet, so actually following up on this kill kind of impossible with those cogs coming down. So Adroit just looking to, you know, shake things up a little bit, shake the old pear tree.
Yeah,
but yeah, the way
I'm very
Underlord kind
concerned about this Geek Fam lineup. For example, not having a frontline tank again this game. A lot comes down to Cuckoo. How well can he push his tower advantage? And then, of course, like the Nyx Assassin. I am very, very much going to be focusing on the Nyx Assassin.
Ouch. Quick assassination in the top lane, and finally Geek Fam get themselves on the board with a kill onto Boomy on that Enchantress. Meanwhile, CML continuing just to annoy Cuckoo so much. I'm actually amazed at how much this Clockfire's doing so far, although I'd say that he's getting blasted down pretty far, but with the Metamorphosis pop from the Terrorblade, it's going to make Geek Fam a little bit more cautious about coming forward onto this.
Cuckoo trying to cheekily use his decrep to make Natsumi miss last hits.
Raven, he's low up at top. Impetus will finish the job as they get another kill onto the Geek Fam carry. Down the bottom, my goodness, CML's going to get killed off. Cuckoo grabbing that one. Meanwhile, Whitemon having some troubles, but not quite enough to finish the job. Although Boomy's still chasing. Yeah, he's got the Impetus. 2-1, and doesn't even need to use it. He's just going to kill him with the regular spears. The bad-mannered spears. I didn't even need to use an Impetus on you.
So look at this. That's 2 cores of Geek Fam in the base right now, walking, and Raven only recently TP'd out. Now, I've been praising Raven's ability to come back before, but usually he sacrifices his lane in order to give his other cores space to, you know, make something happen. And right now, his other cores are losing their lanes too. And if you have no leverage over a game, if you win 0 of your lanes, it is so hard to come back because you'll need to have a hero advantage pretty much every single time you fight. Otherwise, you're just going to lose.
It's looking like a rough old start, but, you know, recovery always an option. Yeah, it's a fascinating laning stage to watch, to be honest with you, but just look at those last hits. I mean, this Underlord is just getting whatever he wants and more, farming the lane, farming the jungle. 60 and 19 currently on Mac. My god.
Underlord is a farming monster. He steps outside of his lane into these camps so easily. The percentage-based damage from the Firestorm is huge, and it scales so nicely as well, just because it doesn't matter how much HP people have, you're always going to hit them hard. And I imagine that this game, he is going for the Rod of Aethys, so he's going for some extra lockdown as well, which is great because his team is a little bit light on the lockdown once again. I feel like that's been a theme today, hasn't it?
It kind of has, yeah, but look at this guy. He's already got 1,660 HP, but is it enough against a double damage Void Spirit? It certainly is, and Boomy TPing in as well. A little bit carried away there maybe, Mac, with the TP out, but I guess he just wants to go home, regen up, and come back to lane with the TP scroll. Seems simple enough to me. Meanwhile on the bottom lane, CML getting sucked away by Cuckoo, but he's going to be fine. Meanwhile, Bok TP's over, maybe sensing an opportunity perhaps? We'll see. Little TP's back into mid. Meanwhile, look at Matsumi on the Terrorblade, pushing out top lane, knowing that there's going to try and be a pressure put onto him at bottom. Just sneaks away up to the top and finds himself a tower in the meanwhile. Meanwhile, interesting rolling thunder here, but not going to be able to save CML. Bog just comes rolling on through. Synergy of spells, somewhat.
A little bit, and this is... Cuckoo is the one who really has to put in work right now. Yeah, they're bringing K down towards him as well. They really want to trade off this tower, but it is very hard to push into a Pangolier who can burst down your ways with so little personal involvement.
Yeah, and whilst this is going on, top's already been pushed out, the tier 1 is gone, Underlord is going to put those creeps into mid, so you have a lot to worry about here. This push can't take too long, and right now it really is. Natsumi tries to go for the cheeky outpost capture. Doesn't look like they'll be able to get away with it, which means that both the outposts are going to go to the Geek fam, it looks like for now. Although they're coming back in. They want it. Adroit not willing to go not on that one, so they're going to try and bring down Zephyr. What is the play? Outpost or kill? Outpost. It's not in time, though. It's not in time! Oh, they just about grab it.
It is.
Whew.
Nicely timed. We get to keep their bottom tower as well. During all of that, everything's coming up Adroit right now. And look at how far forward Mac is farming as well as just where Natsumi was positioned right now. They don't want Raven to have any space, and they know there's 2 of their cores are behind right now. So if you take away the farming space of one of them, it means that you're going to push one of them out on the map. And I think K, with his haste rune here, is going to try to make something happen.
Meanwhile, Indiana Cuckoo gets himself away from the rolling boulder of Bok, and he TPs himself out. Okay, a little bit late on that Remnant. Meanwhile, Troll going to TP himself down to bottom, deciding there's nothing left for him up in this top lane, and will instead head towards mid and try and control that one up. So,
yeah, this is one of those rough points when you lost all 3 lanes, is you can't attack a tower and hold a tower at the same time, because you need that numbers advantage every single time. So right now they need to bring in people to mid in order to try and hold this tower, and that's still going to be extremely hard. Luckily, they did get bot with the help of the catapult, so they can teleport.
So we're kind of trading, taking in turns to attack the towers. Now, CML trying to get on top of it, but unfortunately gets caught out here and does get brought down. So Geek fam bring enough heroes in to try and defend this mid, and will be able to get off a deny at the very least. So something going in their favor at least.
And Cuckoo holding off the top tower for now. Oh, they're going in again.
And meanwhile, Cuckoo having some fun at mid, but yeah, in comes the Rolling Thunder, rolling through the 3 of them, but Bok not getting too much done with this one. Just poking, just prodding, just having some fun. Wasting their time.
Alright, so this is where we start to look at Zephyr. Geek fam doesn't have a real front line, but they do have information if Zephyr plays this right. So,
hook shot coming in, hits on the creep, but still K, he's stuck inside the routers. He's getting able to just juke his way around the circle of death and find that regeneration rune. That's a nice little gift from on high, isn't it? But Boomy is sitting here, but oh, who's going on whom? As K is able to be able to blow up Boomy up in the top side of the map, and well, it's something. It's something. Geek fam, you know, they're not feeling too pressured right now. Definitely not feeling like these lanes went as well as they'd want them to, but Adroit, you know, they're still running a Terrorblade lineup. It's still going to take them some time to really start running down these waves, and Geek fam are going to try and utilize every second that's given to them to try and level the score a bit. And honestly, it's not that bad. 3k gold advantage for Adroit. They did have an Underlord mid. This guy is not going to have the same effectiveness as, say, a Void Spirit with the same amount of farms, so it's not like they could just kind of run down lanes and run over this game, I don't think, yet.
Underlord is very good at just standing places and saying what you're going to do. So I imagine Mac is going to be the front line here for this last tower push, and they're not really going to be able to push him off of that unless Cuckoo gets to be in a great position and gets the life drain away at him.
Yep,
Adroit actually bring all 5. I don't even think they need to. I think their Terrorblade can just farm a bit behind, but they're really set on getting all of these outer towers down.
Yeah, that's a big commitment. Meanwhile, we have a hookshot coming forwards up into the high ground by the outpost of them, getting up to get on top of Zephyr. Zephyr being controlled up, and that's going to be a big fat boulder inside those cogs. That's what they were looking for earlier. Ball in the hole.
And that is the information of getting punished.
Yeah. Ball in a cup, that's it. A game everyone can enjoy. Especially if you're Geek fan right now. Cuckoo getting controlled up, trying to do something here. The False Promise is going to come in out on top of him now as Adroit. They sure they want to take this fight? Yeah, Mac's going to pump the brakes a little bit here. Go for that TP out. Everybody get inside, get him on the high ground, and that's everybody getting out okay. The taxi ride home is successful. Oh, CML missed the fare a little bit. They're going to try and bait with the courier instead. Fair enough. Pango says, take my courier, leave my support.
Geek fam smoke up immediately. They have a little bit of space on the lanes right now, but Mac is not really the hero you want to find. Do you have enough damage? I don't think you do.
No, unfortunately, Mac, he is the big Mac Daddy, and they did a lot more than that to bring him down because he is just so tanky. Fuck, even playing around with them a little bit here. Not afraid to come forwards and give them the old 1-2. Yeah, I'm surprised, but Adroit feels so in control. I mean, I guess that's what happened when you have such a good laning phase, but they seem to be just dictating every single engagement. What kind of entry point can Geek fam look for to get into a fight and find themselves a success here?
Probably a misexecution of some form. They can also blow up the encounters at the start of a fight, but oh, there is a hook shot onto Cuckoo, and he looks...
And it's... Ooh, okay, Ball in the Cup actually knocks Cuckoo out, and it looks like he's going to be okay for now, especially with the heals coming out from the Oracle, but Oracle looking like a tasty little snack himself as Matt gets on top of him, and that's the Atos with the root combo, just sits on top of him and waits him to die, and starts hitting the Nether Ward, because why not? Who cares about Whitemon anyway? Cuckoo will come forward, though he gets to slow it onto him. Meanwhile, Zephyr comes in from behind, disrupting CML. Max still tanky, and they're going to be able to bash back Raven with the cogs. Nicely done, but Max still being controlled up. In comes the Nether Blast, in comes the damage. He's so tanky. Is he actually going to get out from this one? I don't believe it. Zipper's still chasing, but Big Mac. That's who he is. He is a Big Mac, and they cannot chew through him. And out CML, he is going to die in the backlines anyway, but Jesus. All the while, though, look at this net worth chart. Look at the Terrorblades. You know, you're chasing big, fat heroes. Meanwhile, the big boy is just getting more and more farm under his belt. You know, he's going for this Manta. He's going to have it soon as well. Going to increase his farming potential even further. It is going to be a concern for Geek fam.
It is already a concern for Geek fam. Like, at least they are somewhat recovering on Raven right now. He's got a Diffusal Blade up. If he can stick on top of these cores of Adroit, he is going to hurt. There's no doubt about it. And his matchup against his Terrorblade is still good. But yeah, exactly what we said was needed to happen for this Terrorblade to have a good game has happened. He's an item ahead right now. And he is not going to stop anytime soon.
Coming up on the 17-minute mark, and it's a 5k gold advantage for Adroit as they played the laning phase beautifully, orchestrated, planned, and executed all very well. Now, they are just waiting for their Terrorblade to hit that momentum. Mac already in a great position to control up this game. It's on Geek fam to try and find the next fight. I feel like,
yes.
What does this Troll Warlord have?
Just a diffuse.
Diffusal, yeah. So, I mean, that kind of says that he's not gone for... Oh, Zephyr. Uh-oh. Here it is. Ball in the cup once again, controlling up Zephyr and bringing him down once more. Meanwhile, Raven in the middle lane, and this is the big control they're looking for here. 4-Stuff will get him out off that pit of malice and get him to safety. But yeah, this is something I actually wanted to mention before as well. I like this Atos build on Mac is really, really sick this game. I mean, you've got two heroes in the Troll and in the Void Spirit who do not want to be chain locked down. And there's about 8 seconds collectively of lockdown, well, with the roots at least. and it's just super annoying for these high mobility heroes to have to play into, or heroes which don't want to be kited to play into. So it's going to be a huge factor in this game and in these fights. As now this Roshan's pit is looking pretty crowded. CML just guarding around the outside. Geek fam showing absolutely no signs of life. They are comatose as they farm up the rest of the map and allow Adroit to get rid of Roshan and claim that Aegis.
There is no way they're contesting this. They don't have any team fight to speak of right now. They don't have any control over the area. There is nothing they can do apart from trying to farm up, keep the grip on the areas that they do have. And yeah, in regards, by the way, to that Atos, I saw the Force Staff. I was like, oh, that's weird. I didn't think Kuku was going for that. He's got a veil. The Force Staff is on the Void Spirit, and that lets you know exactly how dire the situation is. That's your mid.
Yeah.
He got himself a Force Staff in order to help out himself, maybe the troll.
Oh no, Whitemon, he's stuck, he's trapped, he's just gonna tick away down to Mag here. And Bok even popping the Rolling Thunder here. On the hunt for whom? I'm not sure. He's just rolling, he's just balling. Straight up vibes from Bok.
Sometimes you're just balling.
Sure. Why
Maybe
not?
he was
Hasn't
trying to
used the
find
spell in a
Zephyr?
while. Yeah. Let's go for a bit of a cruise. And just
Since
FYI.
Metamorph is down for another minute. Oh.
Oh, stun. No, slowed. Can't get it off inside. Spike Carapace coming out. Whoa, forwards onto Juku. Jumping on his face right now, but CML will still be dropped. And that's a catch out there. Nexussin providing the information and leading it into a kill. So Geek fam grab themselves something, but meanwhile this net worth lead very slightly growing, and with this Aegis on the TB, just allows him to farm wherever he wants on the map. He knows that his team will be able to get there relatively easily should he come into any difficulties. He's going to have 2 lives to lead, so yeah, he's going to make the most of it. Farm where he can, get bigger and bigger and bigger. Natsumi, he is going to be a scary boy in this game. Meanwhile, Whitemon gets dropped down and bottom. Adroit managed to find an opposing kill, and that's going to lead them into Bounty Ruins as well. Meanwhile, Raven just going for a bit of a walk.
Zephyr managed to steal away 1 Bounty Rune, but that's about all he can do this game. He has been controlled up so well by this clock and this Pangolier. There's always sentry wards around, and he's always, well, getting ball in the cups, as you put it. So
Nice, it's spreading. That's how it starts.
It doesn't flow very well, ball in a cup. It's not verdi.
Do you know what ball in a cup is, though?
It's one of those games where you try to catch the ball on a string, right?
Exactly. It's amazing fun for everybody. Meanwhile, we have a hook shot in the
ages.
middle lane. Exactly. Cuckoo having some trouble, getting caught out, but going to get the false promise put onto him to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Bok doesn't care about anything as he just runs himself forwards. The line still not going to get much done from the Pugner, but a couple of spell spot from Adroit here. But now they're looking towards his tower, and this Boomy, by the way, level 3 Necro Book on the 4th position Enchantress. What on earth is this? And now, hey, Jesus, that's not where you want to be. That is not where you want to go. An interesting jump in and getting rightfully tipped by the side of Adroit. Kind of, what on earth are you doing style of tip there?
It's not much. Really not much. Yeah, I hadn't been watching that Enchantress's item progression at all, and that's a big mistake clearly, because they're ready to go high ground right now.
Yeah,
Still
they got
a bit of time left on that Aegis. Natsumi just making up the front lines. Max got a pipe.
Yeah, sick life drain, bro. Now Yule's up, and 2 of them inside the cogs. Where is the Pangolier? He's not here for the time being, but they're still doing a ton of damage to them inside of that. But CML is actually going to drop him with Boomy losing their life. I think it's time to get out. The back will be pressed, and they get themselves to safety for the time being. And yeah, TB bailed at the moment he saw it going south, immediately coming up top. But still, they break high ground. They get a decent, they get a tiny chunk of damage taken out of the range racks. Still a okay engagement from Adroit. Probably didn't need to lose 2 kills there. I think you need to position your Enchantress a little bit further back than that. She is still a little bit squishy to all of the magic damage and non-right clicks you've got coming out from Geek fam, so you have to respect that. But still, looking good for Adroit.
Smoke up from Geek fam right now. They want to capitalize immediately, and
yeah, they see the Aegis carrier though.
Popped.
That's the problem. Although Boomy's a much nicer target, and yeah, he's not. Thunder coming in to save him. That's Natsumi. You had Thundering his teammate, but unfortunately, it's not enough to keep him alive. But we'll be able to find Zephyr at the very least. So find himself a couple of turnaround kills, because Cuckoo actually gets caught out by CML. Now, Raven
got a
pops a
big streak
BKB,
too.
trying to get himself up to the high ground, TPing away. Does he actually have the health to survive this? Just about does. I feel like if the Underlord had attacked in there, he would have actually dropped, but Mac looking for different targets here, trying to find Carl, and might even be able to connect onto that one. Meanwhile, the Running Thunder going to grab Whitemon, lower down. Meanwhile, the roots are coming through thick and fast onto Carl here as he's making his way north. Have they found him inside? They have not got this cancel, though. They'll be able to pick him off, and he gets his TP back to the base. The Void Spirit will not be dying today, but still, the push is mounted up in the top lane. At the same time, throughout all of this, the Aegis has expired. So that's one thing positive for Geek Fam, but the negatives, they're kind of outweighing the positives pretty dramatically at this stage. They lose a high ground tower, they've lost a bunch of heroes, they're 11k down on net worth, and this Terrorblade is just getting absolutely out of control.
Yep, and Adroit just cashed in on a really nice kill bounty that was on Cuckoo's head as well. You can see that the Clockwork just got 600 gold off of that fight. That's all in the kill bounty that was on Cuckoo's head. So
dang, he's going for a Spirit Vessel.
Really nice right now, yep.
Why these supports are so farmed, dude? Like, you got the Enchantress rocking, yeah, I've just got my casual Necro Book level 3. CML's just like, oh yeah, I've got a mech and I'm going in Spirit Vessel. You know, these guys are, they are in the money.
They are, and it makes them so much harder to pick off with Zephyr's one. Oh, he actually got dusted immediately. This assault from...
okay, Box happens to control me when a hook shot forward onto 2 from CML. And inside that, Pedamalis as well, controlling him up nicely as Raven popping the BKB and trying to get some damage off onto CML. CML will get dropped here. Mac in the front lines, not taking much damage though, and happy to just kind of be the frontliner here. Meanwhile, Illusions pushing up, down in the bottom lane. And meanwhile, they'll come forward. Zephyr's going to be the target, and Zephyr, well, despite Carapace buying himself a little bit of time with the net coming out, the damage coming through, they'll grab that kill. Meanwhile, Mightmon gets picked off as well. They'll look forwards towards this Pugner. Yule's going to come out, holding him, still allowing Natsumi to get on top inside the Metamorphosis with the damage, with the kill. They will bring down Cuckoo, and now immediately, hello Barracks, the damage is coming and flying on through from Natsumi. These Barracks in the middle lane falling pretty damn fast. The Demolition Crews here, hard hats are on, hammers are out, and the Barracks will be dismantled. And they're not done. They're moving up to top. Adroit, they smell blood in the water. They smell blood pretty much everywhere, smeared down the middle lane at this stage as they just get going, and they are not stopping. They are stopping.
Do not have the damage.
See ya.
Oh,
What health is that Barracks
HP.
on? 3. Here we go. Ooh.
And it is so hard to play when you lose all 3 lanes. It should never happen. And I'm not exactly sure what happened. I feel like the top lane was possibly misplayed, or maybe I'm underestimating how hard it is to play versus that Enchantress. It could very well be that Geek Fam did as well, but they have no damage at this point. They can't get anyone on a Adroit killed, and they have such...
This is so awkward. This is so awkward. Bot getting the 3-man roll, 4-man roll in the river, controlling them up and just splitting apart this fight. But Geek Fam are still looking to try and help Zephyr out here, but I feel like it's a lost cause. And still, they're going to try, but Zephyr is dead. And in the back lane, Natsumi coming in on the side here. So meanwhile, getting low on HP, but it doesn't really matter. Meanwhile, they've got the Pugner controlled up, and Cuckoo going to lose his life. Meanwhile, Raven turning away, trying to get to the high ground. Meanwhile, Carl on the run. CML staying on top of him, but he's actually going to get chopped up by the Astral Step. Meanwhile, Bok in the front. Here's going to be Raven, though, with the BKB, and he's popping that ultimate, and he's kind of good town right now. How much can he get done here? Mac getting low. They have got the Thunder if they want to try and save him, but they've got the roots coming out. False Promise being used for Raven here, but unfortunately, he's kind of done in this fight, I feel like. His ulti's come out. He's still trying to fight up here. Natsumi going to be the target. There's a ton of damage coming out onto Raven, though. They're getting off those impetuses. They're getting off those right clicks. Meanwhile, Mac being chased down by Carl on the high ground, but Zephyr also trying to chase down Mac, but Mac is just too tanky to kill. It might not look like he's got much HP, but he's still sitting on a ton of it. Meanwhile, Zephyr with Spike Carapace done out onto Natsumi, but now being caught out, and inside that route, there's no escape. This is going to be a dead Nyx assassin. I mean, not a horrible trade for Geek Fam, but a buyback from Zephyr definitely makes it pretty darn unappealing.
Yes, I'd say that I was yelling last fight here. I think Geek Fam held on, but that was by the skin of their teeth.
The thing is, where does it improve for Geek Fam? Like, what point do these fights become easier?
Hard to say. With his Terrorblade still being ahead, and especially the support style build that the Void Spirit had to go, his entire mid-game peak has just been wasted in favor of trying to stay into this game. And now he's not itemized for a longer game at all. He's got a Medallion of Courage. He's going to be finishing a Solar Crest sort of soon, which means that right now they're just putting all of their eggs in the Troll Warlord basket. Just like last game, Raven is going to have to basically 1v9 this.
God, it doesn't feel... I mean, for the AM, it felt more realistic. For this game, it feels so difficult. They've now got a Heaven's Halberd up on the Underlord, including all the roots, including the disarm on Bok. You know, this guy is going to be completely controlling these fights, I feel like, but...
Yes.
It's about all they can hope for at this stage. The Pugner is just so far behind, he's not doing anything. I mean, look at this guy's net worth. He's a peasant. He's a filthy peasant, rolling in the mud. Roshan? Anybody gonna come and contest this, Roshan?
No, don't think so. No, like Zephyr is poking his little beetle nose in there, but I don't think he should be doing that at all.
Yeah, they just smell him and immediately hookshot comes forward. The Zephyr, he's on the die back and he's gonna die again. I mean, only 36 seconds because he's such a low level, it doesn't really still result to much death time, but Aegis in the hands on Asumi. It's just on Adroit now to just keep it calm, run up the high ground, keep it together, take the final lane of barracks down at bottom after this one, and the game is theirs, I think. I really feel like Geek they're going to have to pull out a miracle.
I think they're too tanky to screw this up right now.
Yeah, look at this, straight down to bottom, and the wraparound completely foiled from Geek. They have to now run to the other side of the map. Luckily, they are in a bit of a better position to defend this one as they were the last one, but it's going to be rough. And Natsumi happy to sit on the front line. So let's lose a decent amount of his chunk to the magic damage straight off the bat. Get that Nether Ward taken down. That's not going to be an issue anymore. And now Carl netted up. High ground tower starting to crack, starting to fall. There's no Frost Shield, there's no repair kit. Natsumi being played around with a little bit here. He's running out of HP, but he's got the Aegis and Thunder comes down onto Carl anyway. Railgun gonna pop that ultimate. He starts to chop away at the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade doesn't even care. He's gonna get 2 kills whilst Raven's trying to deal with him, and he won't even do that. This game is over. The GGs are called. Geek fam, they drop out in 30 minutes to Adroit in game number 2, completely against what anybody predicted, at least on this panel, at least with us as well, I think, Kips. I mean, that was such a good laning phase for Adroit.